Barbershop Conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. I want to talk about Michelle Obama's speech at the DNC this evening. If you have a pulse and you have ears to hear, you should have been moved by her speech. And regardless if you're a Republican, Independent, Democrat, Tea Party, Green Party, it's irrelevant to the candor in which she speaks about her truth. Whether you agree with her politics or disagree with her politics, when someone is before you speaking their truth, you have to respect it. And what I found so intriguing is now listen carefully. This is Michelle Obama pre-campaign tour. Now that she's moved the meter, I'll say it again. Now that Michelle Obama has moved the meter and has begun to galvanize those Bernie Sanders, those independents that are dissatisfied with Hillary Clinton, and I would say probably dissatisfied with Donald Trump, she's moving the meter with them towards Hillary Clinton. And two, she's moving the meter in terms of her running for president in 2020 if Donald Trump loses, and 2024 after Hillary Clinton gets done with her 8 years of president. It's not often where a president loses in their second term. George Bush Jr. did it. No, George Bush Sr. did it, 88 to 92, and then I believe Clinton came in. But I was thoroughly moved, and when she says she wakes up every morning in the house that was built by slaves, and her children plays on the front lawn with their dogs, that was a moving piece for me, because as a black person in this society, you always have that in the back of your head, like, man, just 100 years ago, we were slaves. Just 50 years ago, 150 years ago, and just 50 years ago, I couldn't vote. So when you come to this part of the election and you hear people speak of it in the position that they're in, it moved me to an emotional state, and I hope that it moved you. But I'm not excited about this campaign election. As I told you guys, I am not voting for president. I don't like Hillary Clinton. I don't trust her. Her believability factor is much lower than 50% to me. And I think Donald Trump is an asshole. But in order to get Michelle Obama in 2020, Donald Trump has to become president. And after hearing her speak and watching her work for 8 years and hearing her speak and tour the country and looking at her and looking in her eyes, I have no doubt that she can become president in 2020 if Donald Trump wins. And if Hillary Clinton wins, we have to wait patiently till 2024 in order to vote for her. And I will support her as I did President Obama. She will have my vote before she even declares. 1, because she's black. 2, because she's a minority. And 3 is because I love her. I have the utmost respect for President Obama. And President Obama, absolutely. Michelle Obama, as we speak of her this evening, she is such an inspirational figure. And looking at her, who moves the meter more so than Michelle Obama? If you look at all the famous people, all the celebrities, who moves the meter on the intellectual level more so than Michelle Obama? If you look at the other side of the fence, Condoleezza had the same opportunities Michelle Obama had, or Michelle Obama currently has, but she didn't move the meter as you would think she would have. But I'm excited. That got me excited for 2020. Her speech got me excited for 2020. It didn't get me excited for Hillary Clinton. I'm like, damn, I wish I can vote for her right now. And I'm absolutely elated and excited right now. But this is the first time in my existence where even President Obama, I wasn't excited about voting for him when he gave the speech at the Democratic convention. I was inspired, but I honestly didn't think he would run for president. I believe that was 1994. I don't know when I fail to remember. But or 1996. 1996. It's 1994. It's not an election yet. But this is the first time where I have been excited about a potential candidate running for president. President Obama came out of the woodwork for me. I followed him, but I didn't think that he would get that far in America that I live in. Not that the big America, but the America that I live in. I genuinely didn't believe that he would get that far. Then the momentum came, and I started pumping money into President Obama, and I started verbally supporting him, physically supporting him, and it came to fruition. And I will never ever forget that Tuesday in November in 2008 when I cried on my couch, and I was just so inspired by that man. And I believe they were in Lincoln Park, and that was one of them. I ranked that night right behind or just below me graduating, getting my undergraduate degree in college. That's how valuable that moment was for me in my life. But getting back to Michelle Obama, I'm fired, as Democrats say, I'm fired up and ready to go. And currently in my life, I'm neither a Democrat nor a Republican. I'm a registered Democrat, but I don't consider myself a Democrat. I think I'm a registered as an independent so I can get all the voting materials. So, but I'm fired up and ready to go for Michelle Obama. And if you're not fired up and ready to go for Michelle Obama, I need to do my job better. As you can see, I'm so excited because I'm putting words together and my brain is moving faster than my mouth is. But I'm gonna put the link in the description box for you to watch her speech. But it was just powerful, man. Vance Jones was crying during the speech, and it's tough to explain to you all what it's like growing up black in America, because people tend to think that it's a crutch, and I think more successful black men and black women need to speak more about what it's like growing up in America, because our believability factor on the outside looking in is much higher than someone who looks ragged, tired, fatigued. When you look at them, they don't look like they're successful, so they don't believe them. So I think successful black people need to speak more about what it's like growing up in America and the lenses that we see America through. And I've linked on work ethic, and I'm fortunate enough to be successful. I'm fortunate enough to be in a different tax bracket. So, but I've traveled through tax brackets, if you guys understand. Single parent home to living in a big home. You get what I'm saying? So, I think the more we speak up, the more we can infiltrate the people that are in denial and allow them to understand our plight. And we're not asking for handouts, but we want you guys to understand where we've come from and where we're attempting to go, and to give us a fair handshake. And I'm excited for Michelle Obama. It was a wonderful speech, great speech. It moved me emotionally, and I encourage you guys just to listen to it. And I am excited. When I say I am excited about Michelle Obama running for president, they can't say that now on CNN or MSNBC because it'll take away from Hillary Clinton's night. But I can't wait. So Barbershop Conversation, hit the subscribe button. Michelle Obama in 2020. I would vote for, because Hillary Clinton would probably be in her, I don't know how old Hillary Clinton is, but she would be in her 70s. And she would not be an electable candidate in her 70s, I would imagine, just because she'll look fatigued. And this will be her third time running. And, there are not many Abraham Lincolns in the world where you can lose 16 times. And, so they say he lost 16 elections and win your 17th or something, like some number. in there. Don't quote me on that, but I'm excited to vote for Michelle Obama. But getting back, in order for Michelle Obama to be president in 2020, Donald Trump has to win. As I was saying, I would vote for Donald Trump. I live in California anyway, I vote in California, so it's my vote doesn't count either way. The Democrats will carry California. The Democrats will carry New York. The Republicans will carry Texas. These are just facts. This will never ever change, you know. The key states: Ohio, Florida, Nevada now is a swing state, and there are many others. As I just mentioned, those 3 states, or those states I just mentioned, those are swing states, and those will determine the next president of America. But let's get Michelle Obama in office in 2020. Let's start the momentum now. I think she'll be great for America. I don't know too many candidates on the Republican side that can move the meter. You know, the challenging part about being a Republican candidate is you can't be contemporary. And what I mean by contemporary, you can't be sexy, you can't be sleek because of the Republicans' core values. So to those independent voters, they come off as stiff. You know, you can't talk about what goes on in the House. You can't talk about gays and lesbians. You have to put religion to the forefront. And I need to do a video on my stance on religion and how it's and how I believe it may be fatigue in America. And but that's a whole nother topic. I want to keep it here. So with that being said, it's hard for a Republican to be sleek and sexy and attract those independents, because now we have, remember when we only had we only had 2 voting base? We had the Republicans and the Democrats. And now, after 1968, we had something called independence. And I believe that arose from the wars, segregation. So you had the independent party growing, you know. And now, because of religion, because this is a religious country, the gays and lesbians and friends of the gays and lesbians, family of the gays and lesbians, didn't have a platform. So they created their own platform, and since the Democrats is the most liberal, they attached themselves to them. But when in actuality, the Democrats as a whole really can give 2 shits about the about the gays and lesbians. All they want are their votes. You know, I'm talking about as a whole. Independently, as a person, I'm sure they care, but as a whole, the same thing for Republicans. They can give a shit about the gays and lesbians, the LGBT community, I believe that's what it is. And they just want your vote. And they would be satisfied if no one from the gay and lesbian community didn't vote. But now that it's 2016 and people are quote unquote waking up and getting out of their religious funks, they're becoming more and more independent thinkers. Race is an issue, but ethnicities is co-joining together with their ideals and how they believe and how they perceive America should be and will become. So, and now we have minority voting blocks now because of integration. So now we got the Mexicans and the Latinos with their own voting block. You have blacks becoming educated now. They have a voting block. So and it takes time for these seeds to germinate, because in 1968 we didn't have to worry about blacks. We didn't have to worry about Latinos. We didn't have to worry about Asians. We didn't have to worry about gays. No one had a voice, and they were underpopulated in terms of the voting base. But now we're in the 2nd, maybe 3rd generation of blacks, Latinos, and gays having a voice. Now we have 2 generations that are capable of voting, and the 3rd generation right behind them. So now we have politicians and politics paying attention voting base, to these voting blocks. And now that this has happened, you have to attract those voters. But when in actuality, I don't believe the Republicans and Democrats can care less. They just want their vote. Because if they cared, genuinely, I'm talking about as a whole, we wouldn't be in the Senate debating rights for these people. Excuse me for saying these people, for these voting blocks. I don't want to come off as non-sympathetic. Excuse me, not sympathetic, empathetic, or sympathetic. But barbershop conversations. Getting back to Michelle Obama, she was great tonight. I know I just threw out some other stuff at you, and I think I need to do a video on that so we can have dialogue. But Michelle Obama has my vote in 2016 right now if she runs in 22 if Donald Trump becomes president. So I guess now I need to be campaigning for Donald Trump, and you guys gonna say I'm fucking crazy. Like, I'm gonna give you guys an example. Donald Trump says, oh, we need to build a bigger wall. Dumbass Americans are so caught up on a bigger wall. Bigger wall means we already have a wall. It doesn't matter how big the wall is. You guys are being over sensationalized by believing, Donald Trump is going to build a wall and alienate immigrants. It's already been there. The wall has already been there. And whether he extends the wall doesn't make a difference whether he extends the wall, because the wall is going to get extended anyway, as per our Constitution, as per protecting Americans. So don't be fooled by the rhetoric. This is all rhetoric that we have grown to believe. I'm not campaigning for Donald Trump right now. I'm just stating facts. Whereas the facts is Hillary Clinton has lied about emails, about confidential emails that pertain to America's security and safety. And she should have been prosecuted. Whether she's innocent or guilty is up to the judge and the jury and whoever else presides on that case. But she should have been prosecuted, and that's just the reality of it. So, but there's a whole bunch of rhetoric in this campaign. I don't trust either candidate. As I say, I'm voting for myself. I'm writing my name in. But in 2020, if Donald Trump becomes president, I get the check Michelle Obama's for president. So barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. I thoroughly enjoyed her speech, and let's have dialogue about this. Let me know what you guys think. Should we be supporting Donald Trump so we can get nothing changed? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just keep on going. When Donald Trump says, "Let's make America great again," think about the semantics of that statement. Let's make America great again. In what year was America great for minorities? Because in order to make it great again, it had to be great first, right? So was it 1968? Was it 1963? Was it 1919? Was it 1984 when Reagan became president? Was it 1988 when Bush became president? Was it 1968 when MLK was assassinated? So understand the semantics of what these guys are saying. Great again is a referendum on President Obama, quote unquote, misleading America. So be careful and understand the semantics in which they're talking. I should do a video on that, because that's a whole video in its own. So barbershop conversation, guys. I love talking politics. If you guys don't know, I ran for office a few years back, and I lost. I lost by a few percentage points. I was close. I came in third place, and I took a stab at it. And sometimes I trust the political system. Sometimes I don't trust the political system. So I go back and forth, and it's just honesty. Even though I ran for office, sometimes when you see policemen get off, you like, How the hell can politicians sit there and watch this man get off and not bring him to justice? I'm talking politicians who have the power, as a Senate, can have the power to make this stuff happen, to try him in a different court, So barbershop conversation, guys. I love talking about higher frequency conversations or higher frequency topics. So any topics you guys want to discuss, put it in the comment section. And I'll gladly discuss it. As you guys know, I don't really hold any punches as it terms of what I believe in. And so barbershop conversation. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.